Shalom, everyone. This is Dudley, and two of the puppies decided to come with me up to the back of the property and going for a little walk. Got my wood saw with me, cutting off some branches and stuff, and just marking the back part of our 5 acres here in the homestead, looking for the other corner posts. There's one of the puppies. These are two that decided to come with me, two of the white ones. Milk Dud took the other puppies and they all ran off somewhere, not exactly sure where, but that's pretty cool. They're on their property, knowing their boundaries, and some decided to come with me. But what I'm thinking about today is when I lived in New Jersey, I was looking for properties to live on, trying to find the best little piece of happiness for me. For me, my wife, my family. And one of the things that I just swore that I could do is have a large piece of property. There was this property in Kansas that was 599 acres. I just swore that was going to be the best property for us in the absolute middle of nowhere, Kansas, where we didn't know anybody. We were just trying to figure out what we were going to do. It was like dream planning. I would go to the website every day for this property and like, oh, I would do this with this property. I would do that with this property. It had 100 acre pond, lake, or whatever you would call that, because I don't know I don't know what the actual size difference would be where you would call something a lake or a pond. And it's like, oh, this is going to be perfect. I can build a gym there. I could have family members come stay and live on the property. This is going to be our little township, and everything was going to be good. Every day I would go to that website. But then I get out here to the middle of nowhere in Oklahoma and start to recognize how big things are. We were living on, when we were at Bear Camp proper, we were living on 2 acres. And wow, 2 acres is a lot. It's a lot of stuff that you can do with just 2 acres. There's a lot of stuff you could do with 1 acre. Some people have done great things with a 1/4 acre. If you were living in the right place where they didn't have a HOA, or you couldn't have livestock, you couldn't grow plants and food and stuff. But a 1/4 acre in some places would be extremely great. But that 2 acres that we were on, that was a lot to deal with. We barely used a 1/4 acre, and it didn't really get overwhelming, but we were in a position where we couldn't build on the property. We could not really expand how we wanted to. We just had a baby. We were trying to figure out plants that we were going to grow, try to figure out livestock with chickens. We had a goat. Then we had milk dud while we were still on the property, and things were going pretty good. Now we get out here where we are at the Dudley Hillside Homestead. We live on a mountain, and then where our property is, it slopes down, then goes back up here to where I am, to the back of the property. And it's going to be quite some time. It's going to be some years and money and investment to fully utilize this 5 acres that we have. I think right now, it's just hiking. Once we get down to the creek, that's what it is. It's the creek. It's dry right now, which the chunk is upset about because he loves to throw his rocks and stuff in the water. But my wife hasn't been up here yet. My little chunk hasn't been up here. Football hasn't been up here yet. I've only been up here a handful of times, walking around and exploring up here, checking the corner post, looking for wildlife up here, and talking to the Father. Once again, saying thank you for giving me this opportunity to steward this land. I'm trying to do the best that I can. I'm trying to set up the best comforts for my family so that things can run and go smoothly. I am trying to make sure that we can stay cool in the summer off grid and warm in the winter. Have the solar system established. We have a generator. We're going to be purchasing a different generator, so the one that we have now will just be a backup, and the other one we're going to hook up to a 250-gallon propane tank, and that should last us for quite some time so that we can run everything so that can recharge our batteries, and then our mini split heat pump will be able to deliver heat for us, and we'll be good to go. Just those little things. Then eventually put these puppies to work. See, they're just lounging right now, but they're livestock guardian dogs. They need more livestock to watch over. We're going to have some sheep roaming up here, have them fenced off with some electric fence, and have these puppies actually go to work protecting them. Going to get more chickens. I want hundreds of chickens so they can eat up all these bugs and ticks and stuff like that. So then that problem isn't coming to the doorstep of our camper. I don't even know who owns that property right over there. If they even care. If they're even doing anything with their property. Haven't met them yet. Got to go introduce myself. I don't even know if anybody lives there. But I have to do more with this land. I swore that I was going to be able to handle 599 acres. And I'm doing the best that I can with 5. We need sheep. Got to get some of that Gallagher fencing before we can get the sheep. Got to get my wife used to coming up here and taking walks with the chunk. Got to make sure that she's ready to shoot a rattlesnake if one happens to start rattling, because up on this mountain, a few people that we know have shot and killed quite a few of them. I haven't come across any rattlesnakes or moccasins or anything like that. But you always got to be ready. So just be joyful for what you have. There are these big aspirations that you might have, and then if you get it, you might not even have the bandwidth to be able to deal with it. Hey, puppy. So now I'm going to continue looking for this corner post. I have the what's the name? Uh, my compass right here. I have it directed exactly where I need to go. So if I turn away, I can get back on track. It's just like using, what is that, a lymphatic compass? I think that's the word for it. I'm not exactly sure, but it is a beautiful thing. I'm happy about it. I like to use technology. Have my Garmin watch on. I should be using that to drop pins so I can easily find my way around back here, but it's not too difficult. It's point west, go up the hill, and that's your property. Stop when you see one of these corner posts. Also got the pin drops and stuff on Google Maps when that decides to work. But be joyful with what it is that you have. Steward your land. Walk your land. Get out and move. Appreciate it. Give thanks. Shalom.